What's going on, Ammonites? Something I want to discuss, and it's about the movie StarGate. I ain't gonna get too deep off into it because I recommend you see it for yourself. There's many things that stood out to me in StarGate. Now, for me, my understanding that from what I was teaching you came to light. Now, mind you, this movie came out in the 80s. A lot of y'all were still babies. A lot of y'all were still around. Some was born in those years. But I was talking to you guys and explaining to you about the reality of the color blue, its significance, its importance, and how powerful blue is. Even in the movie, they incorporated the color blue because blue is very powerful. You'll notice when it shows Anubis eye is blue, right? Not only that, but the netters, when it showed Anubis and it shows Horus the falcon, their colors illuminated blue, which is also confirmation of the regality of the color blue. When you look at the image of StarGate, it shows gold pyramid, right? Silhouette around blue and gold. But what caught my attention more than anything, when I also expressed and explained to you, was talking to you about the StarGate. Now, my understanding of this StarGate, gotta watch the movie. Now, the scientist was looking for something inside of the pyramid that can allow them to get back to their destination. And it has to do with the hieroglyphic. But in the hieroglyphic, you have to see for yourself. There's a coded number that's being used that's in there that talks about a connection. Now, not giving too much away, but you got to see that it has. Well, this is a disclaimer. Let you know I'm gonna say this, but I ain't gonna get too much of the action movie itself. But when one of the Egyptian slaves was writing something on the hieroglyphic, he wrote a dot, another dot, and another dot, 3 dots. And he had the lines connecting to the dots. And then the scientists seen that there were something that was missing that needed to be incorporated. So of course, he's seen something that had some type of connection to the hieroglyphic from what he's seen. And he placed 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, all pyramidal. You'll also find that when the Pharaoh came down pyramidal, right? He came down pyramidal. And you'll find that the Pharaoh came down, dot, then his servants connected, the power of 3. But what showed up more than anything was 33. And I was explaining to you the 33 vertebrae from that brain down to, go back to your studies, down to the penis. Or for the women, dealing with the vajayjay, the vagina. When you understand that the fallopian tube, the eggs, right? 1, and then the lower point, which is the inverted pyramid, which where you get your Baphomet symbol from, where it shows the ovaries, and it shows that internal connection that looks like the ram. But the Pharaoh coming down, and the Pharaoh in a pyramidal formation, you will notice that it also triangulate in also a pyramidal formation as well. Because when you see that the Pharaoh came down and revealed himself. What identified this Pharaoh as being powerful? What identified the Pharaoh as having power? That when the Pharaoh came down and the Pharaoh sat down in his seat, the Pharaoh's eyes started to illuminate. It started to glow. Once it showed the Pharaoh, then it showed Anubis. It showed the Pharaoh, then it showed Anubis. And Anubis' blue eye showed. It showed blue. Then it went to Heru. But they didn't show the bird Heru. They just showed the ear. But then on other scenes it shows the Heru, which is horse. And it shows it's a black man. The three connects because all of this has its importance. So you have to understand when you're dealing with Hollywood, you're dealing with different beings that's incorporating a lot of facts, a lot of information that they're aware of. They incorporate a lot of these things because they may not be able to tell it out, but they can place it in sci-fi to make it seem like it's not that real. Okay? The importance of the Pharaoh and the importance of Anubis, and then it's showing Heru. If you watch the movie, how many images do they show of Anubis? How many likenesses of Anubis? Anubis is more than one. But you will notice that there's more Herus that's being depicted. But it's only one Anubis. And it's only one Pharaoh. Now, one thing that I didn't like about them showing that they feminized the Pharaoh, and that's just symbolism, and that's just something, the dog mentality in which they trying to place that rhetoric to have us think that the Pharaohs was feminine, homosexual, I should say. But anyway, when you notice that the Pharaoh on the exterior being pharaonic and transforming his eyes illuminated, and he turned into, from a Pharaoh, what looked to appear to be a prince. And his eyes glowed, not just one time, but his eye glowed many other times. More so when the Pharaoh was angry. His eyes glowed. You know what's so powerful about it? Because from watching Kanye West's video, no man should have all that power. The clock ticking, I just count the hour. Man, that's a cold mamma jamma. But he said, I just count the hour. When you understand hour, H-O-U-R, is Heru, which is that big medallion that he's saying, that charm of Heru that he had around his neck. Because the hours in the clock, they tick tock. I just count the hours. I-J-C, hour. I just count the hours. When you understand, it's powerful in this sense, because when you understand that the clock has 12 o'clock up top was dealing with 3. And up under 12 is 6. There's 2 6s in 12. And 1 6 as above. 2 6s in 12. As below. Another 6. 6, 6, 6. Which parallel, which connect. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons was open up your StarGate. Did you notice that Kanye West was standing in what silhouette to be like in a StarGate? Because we represent stars. The gate lies within us. The portal lies within us. The ability to do many things happens within us, and our abilities lies within us. the genetics codes of the netters, the divine source, is in us. It's in you. That StarGate. How many letters is in star? S-T-A-R. Gate, G-A-T-E. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 equal 8. The infinity sign. StarGate. And even on you hear, when you hear star and you hear gate, you hear 8 on the end of gate. When you understand that a star is 5 pointed from the teaching that's so, but we know that nobody's actually in outer space counting the points of a star is impossible, because the star in essence identify with their sun, the energy. So if you understand that a star that they use to having 5 points, why was that ever used? What is the depiction to show that star connection? You, us, we. That 5 connection, we represent star, because you are connected to the stars alignment. What's even more powerful in watching the movie StarGate is that, sorry about that, y'all, my camera had turned off. Too many videos. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I want you to pay attention to the details that's in there, because you don't see the pharaohs that's showing in the movie rocking crosses, but you see that the pharaoh, there's nothing wrong with it. That's what you want to do, because the cross actually is also an ancient sign where you get north, west, east, south from, and that's coded. That's to depict something. You understand? So the cross is not a bad thing, because it's actually, that was something that we have in Egypt, the cross. And it's also shredded in mysteries dealing with the cross. Don't get it twisted. But what the pharaoh reached down, that he noticed that the scientists had around his neck was supposed to be the protection. The pharaoh reached and grabbed around his neck, and he grabbed the eye of Pharaoh. He grabbed the eye of Pharaoh and snatched it. Nope. The first time, he didn't. He let it be. He let him have it. I don't want to tell the movie, but you have to watch it. The things that stood out to me was the pharaoh transmuting, transforming, pharaoh changing into a prince, the regal color blue on Anubis, one eye, how the netters wearing blue, and how the StarGates identify with something more than what it's supposed to be, and what I understand what it's supposed to be. But it's a twist to it. So watch the movie and understand that you have the energy and power within you as a StarGate, that you can awaken your ancient ancestral. For those with royal bloodline, the DNA can awaken depending on what you do, how you do what you do, and depending on timing, and depending on your birthright and your calling. So the ancestors brought something to my attention, and I apologize. I said that the movie StarGate came out in the 80s, when actually StarGate came out in 1994. Now what caught my attention, that in the movie StarGate, it shows a pyramid, but it's a mystery connected to it, and it's all in plain sight. You'll notice that the pyramid is silhouette, now emphasize on wet, with a luminous glow, and they're entering into a path, a vortex, a area, right? And then it's kind of circled, like it's rounding off, circle to circle. But when you turn it sideways, it also can resemble like into an eye. But I'm here to tell you that the pyramid representing is representative of a phallus inside of the vajayjay. The glow is connected, circling to the fiery heavens of a woman. Remember I said the sky, on how a woman represents paradise? That represents the phallus inside of the vagina. What factuate, that's a new word. What makes this actual and factual is the words that's above it, that's connected to it, that touches the color burnt orange, that connects to it, and that's A-R-G-A. Don't you know that the word A-R-G-A in Latin, which is a older language, but is also recognized to be used in the mysteries as well as used by the Vatican, amongst other people. But A-R-G-A, family, means to copulate. What do copulate means? Copulate means intercourse, sex with a female and male. I can't make this up. And the hidden messages inside of, at the top of the pyramid is RG. Now, it's coded because the bloodline, you got blue blood up under it and you have red up top. That means the bloodline, the red and the blue. Blue blood, red blood. RG is code for RH. And what gives that away, RH, you hear on H is like 8 because the next letter in the alphabet from G is H, right? E, F, G, H, I. After G is H. And next to G is 8. So the R8 is really talking about the RH bloodline. And what's outside of that, next to the A that says Arga, probably pronunciating wrong, is the ST. And what's outside of the A is TE. And which the giveaway of that is brought to my attention is it says state, because you have, let's see if I can show you. So what you have here, let's do this here. Let's use this color. So what you have here, right, look, S-T-A, and then the T-E, that says state. S-T, excuse me, family, I botched that up, right? Here we go, S-T-E, state, like United States. You don't get that word except from a place that's in United States, because Egypt is not a state. And the remaining letters of that which says copulate is TE. And that's code for ET. Because this word that you see in purple, ARGA, means to copulate. Copulated with whom and what? From right to left. From right to left. Left is right. Right is left. ET. The bloodline of the Nephilim. The bloodline of the pharaohs. And understand that the whole functionality of a pharaoh is to keep things in alignment, in order, from the ancient ones. The prince, that pharaoh god, is a prince with pharaonic powers. A prince in Arabic name means Amir. So the three in the connection of the tribe, that leader, Man, this movie is powerful. 218 B-A-H. B-A, By. Right? And then 8, that 8 again. Stay tuned for more. Oh yeah, I want to add, family, that when it shows the Pharaoh being feminine, it's just showing that that person being tuned in to his masculine and feminine side, which your left brain, right brain also represent having that type of connection, and having that type of connection within one inner self to be able to connect with the feminine. It's coded. Just like when it showed showing Anubis being a Caucasian man with one royal blue eye, is to identify from light to dark, the checker floor. Because after it shows the nectar being Caucasian looking, then it shows the black Heru, and he's black, which is the connection of the checker floor, right? White and black, the mystery incorporated. So there's something that's also I forgot to bring to your attention, and that's dealing with inside of the Pharaoh's chamber. Is going to show, without giving all this here away, man, but I gotta enlighten you to what I'm seeing. Oh yeah, steady doing that exercise, steady working around. It shows that when the Pharaoh went to like a square type magical, I don't know what you want to call it, right? But anywho, when the Pharaoh went to this table-like setting, there was a circle and a dot. That's what I was telling the teaching. Now they was talking about this here in the 80s. A circle, like it to Saturn. A circle and a dot that opened up, and it was a ring that the Pharaoh put on, and it was the ring of Ra. And when he placed the ring of Ra in the hand of power, his eyes illuminated, and he glowed when he was about to wreak havoc. So all these signs that I've been teaching you about has been incorporated in these movies. How the eye, the circle and the disc, means the eye. Because when that opened up, it had a ring that he put on. And that ring that he put on gave forth energy and power. Let me say something. Time traveling technology has been around for a long time. They just now telling us about it. And I believe that people in high places know about things that a lot of people just ain't privy to. What's to come and what's happening and what's been on the scene. All right? Watch the movie StarGate. 1.